hello. Are we okay? Yeah, nice. Do you like the jacket? Yeah, we're not. Oh, thanks. Cheers. That's it. Sec done. No, I got it from Vinted recently. I've been trying to be a bit better, more sustainable and everything. And then I wore it at a gig in Brighton a couple of weeks ago, and a guy at the back went, "Piss off, Lego man!" So yeah, I got the train back, and actually I feel like I had a long, hard look at myself. I don't agree with him, because I think I look more like Winnie the Pooh's got to have a bath that's too cold for him. Yeah, you're seeing it, innit? Have fun for the next 4 minutes. That's fine. It's nice being here. I'm originally from Kent. Have we heard of that shit? Yeah, man. We call it the Garden of England. But what I don't tell you is that garden's full of teenagers and they've just been kicked out of McDonald's. Now they're in your garden. That's Kent. I like it, man. I do live in South East London now, though. Yeah, all the Millwall fans are like, you factory! Shit yourself. That's it. Don't worry, mate. I'm just like Winnie the Pooh. You're fine. Safe. No, I like living there. I remember the first time I moved there, I got out of the station, which across the road, saw Weatherspoons. My people, all right? Buzzing. And the first thing I saw was a man defend his pint from a pigeon, but uppercutting it. Mamma mia, I'm home. Oh, it's so lovely. It's so nice. It's good. I like asking this question, right, by the way. I'm going to ask you all. What's the first thing you do when you break up with someone? Just shout it out? Haircut? Just fucking got Trish on speed dial, know what I mean? Give me some highlights, the prick's gone. Fair enough. No, I like asking that, but I do some gigs in Kent and shit, and there's always someone at the back who's like, wank! Straight away. It's not working, is it? No, we tried everything. One day I'll be brave enough to take my trousers down at that bit. That's not today, Cav, not today. The first thing I did was I called my mum. Like, my mum's like an Essex girl, you know what I mean, from Ilford. Tells you how it is. Saying that, she has just bought a sign for the bathroom recently. Not live, life, love, she's better than that. No, it says, if you can't ride the waves, you can learn to surf. For a family of non-swimmers, I don't like it. She's also the same woman when I told her about Kate Bush running up a hill, getting back in the charts. She went, oh my God, yeah. Is it because of the Strange Things? Let that slide. And then she went, oh my God. She'll be looking down so proud that her music's hitting a new generation. Mum, you know Kate Bush is not dead. You're older than Kate Bush, that's not how this works. My mum's just recently bought a weighted hula hoop. That sounds irrelevant, but it's really relevant. Right. You know what a weighted hula hoop is, isn't you, mate? Yeah, it's a hoop that's weighted. Yeah, well done. Now hers ain't like that though. Hers is like Dr. Octopus's belt with a rope on it with a weighted ball, and she's just... I'm sorry, mate, I'm looking you dead in the eye for this. You can look around if you want, just know this is going to continue, right? I did this the other week, got called the Shakira of comedy, so think yourself lucky, yeah? My hips do not lie, but she does. Have you seen her taxes? Whew. Won't go into it. So I call her up, right? She's in Kent, I'm in London, she's already hooping. So get rid of the flabby bits. And I was like, right, Mum? She's like, oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, you look sad. Look at me. Look at me. Good boy. Shouldn't say that. Getting distracted. What's that? You tell me. You tell me anything. And I was like, fucking hell. Alright, we split up. Just generally what she did, she went, oh! It's the ball. Do you want me to put the hoop away? Yes! Ages ago, woman. So, like, my mum actually, I don't know if my mum's anything like your mum, right? But she saw that bit for the first time 2 weeks before Christmas. And she went, do you want one of them for Christmas, Dad? No. No, I do not. Yeah. Christmas Day rolls around. She's in the back of the room with a cup of tea like that. That one's for you. Open it up. Yeah, weighted hula hoop. But then, plot twist, she goes, open the box. Open the box. CD of Shakira's greatest hits. Fair play, man. She's a comedian. Guys, you've been gorgeous. I mean, Danny, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Beth. Give me a quick cheer if you made a New Year's resolution this year. Yeah, okay, quite a few people. I don't normally bother. This year I did though, so my resolution is to find a boyfriend. Just to be clear, not because I actually want one, just so that I've got someone else's family to spend Christmas with next year. Yeah, Christmas with my family, it had me really reminiscing about those COVID days. Do you remember when you couldn't see your family for Christmas? Oh, that was so good, wasn't it? Yeah. So, hypothetically, what should a girl write on her dating app profile that neither suggests that she's looking for a husband, nor that she will sleep with you after just one cocktail? I'm just asking for a friend. So I joined the apps for the first time last year. I didn't really know what to write, so I just went with something really simple. Nothing too serious, let's do something fun. Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah. Suddenly I'm getting all the messages. This is my entire interaction with one guy. Hey, how's you? That was me. No, obviously that was the guy. Hey, how's you? Yeah, good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, good. Wanna fuck? Oh, wow, okay. I'm not looking for Bridgerton-style romance over here, but more than one sentence would be great. I was talking to this other guy late one evening, and I worked out pretty early on that his entire personality was marijuana. When I told him where I lived, he was like, "Oh, bro, that's only a 10-minute Uber from where I live. Pull up, let's catch a vibe." It's like, bro, I'm in my pajamas. It's 11:30 p.m. on a Monday. Pretty sure if I jumped in an Uber to your house right now, it wouldn't be a vibe I'd be catching. There's being spontaneous and then they're just asking for gonorrhea. So I'm going to try and have some higher standards for men this year. It's another New Year's resolution. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's going so far, so far so good. For example, I didn't go on a date with this guy. So I was talking to him on Bumble, and when I told him that I was an assistant at an investment company, he went, "Oh, that's nice. I had a friend who did that, and she kept going, and she did lots of training, and she got more involved as it went along." Wow, okay. Firstly, thank you for mansplaining career progression. Never thought of it that way. Secondly, I didn't join Bumble for careers advice. And I certainly didn't ask for the opinion of a man who had written on his profile 6'8", and that's 2 separate measurements. I think the main reason, though, for wanting to have higher standards this year probably came from the last date I went on towards the end of last year. So it was this Canadian guy. He seemed nice over message. We were talking, getting along. We were talking about the fact that I did comedy, and he was like, "Ooh, am I going to be your next Tinder disaster story?" No, please don't be. Maybe just don't do anything weird, and I won't have anything to say. But he was really weird, so I'll tell you about it. So he was a pilot, which I thought, great, that's a really good topic of conversation for a first date. Yeah, great. If I wanted to listen to him list all of the countries in the world that he hated and why, it was a long evening. He talked about himself in the third person. Yeah, just every now and again. Fred thinks you have really nice eyes. Fred's having a really nice time. Yeah, he seemed confused when I found it difficult to take a compliment when it had been delivered in that manner. No, I'm not being shy or coy, you're being a little bit creepy. No, but the weirdest part of that whole date, it was actually after we'd gone back to his hotel and had sex. Yeah, that is the reason for needing higher standards. Afterwards, he said that his co-pilot was staying in the room next door, and he therefore thanked me for not being too loud. No hint of irony. He hadn't given me a reason to be loud. Either time. But yeah, no, even after all that, the grossest thing was I went into the bathroom, saw that he hadn't unwrapped the little hotel soap packet. So just all day, hadn't been washing his hands properly. I thought to myself, right then and there, I'm only going to have sex with this guy one more time before I get out of here. Thank you very much.
Eugene! what you're thinking. What is the security of the club doing on the stage? Listen, this is bullshit. 5 minutes is not enough, and that's why I'm leaving, said my ex-wife. Listen, you guys, man, you guys are adorable. Got lovely energy, so upbeat. It's so nice. I'm gonna bring that shit right down. Because you guys are wild. Listen, I'm a Londoner, born Londoner, raised in London, like old school. Like I hate the affluence. It annoys me. Listen, the rich have more rooms than children, and the poor have more children than rooms. House prices are so expensive. Rent is too expensive. It's so hard to be poor in London. This is what my cleaner keeps on telling me. My cleaner goes to me, struggles. She goes, no, she doesn't. She goes, Eugene, you don't understand the pressure that I have gone through. I have been here in London for 8 years, and I have not been able to go back and see my family once in 8 years. Saddened me. Been in London for 8 years. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something nice. I'm going to surprise her. I did surprise her. I bought her a ticket, and I sent her back to Bulgaria so she could be with her family. She was so surprised because she was from Birmingham. I'm shit with accents. Look, man, listen, I understand. I'm doing the maths, right? Listen, this is half of you are comedians, half of you are bringers. I've done that. Yeah, I'm not going to make the comedians happy. Yeah, it's all about the bringers right now. It's strange, really, because I see some of you you're a bit confused. Like, listen, because the only other time you need a bringer is at like an orgy or a swingers club. That shit ain't going to happen tonight, guys. And another thing about bringers, it's strange, because they want comedians, you've got to bring bringers, right? But it's strange because most comedians' friends are other comedians. So it's basically like a comedian bringing a comedian to watch a comedian in a room full of comedian, hosted by a comedian with some audience members thinking, I think I want to become a comedian. It's strange, man. Go to the right-hand bit of jokes. Okay. We write on our hand. That's a strange thing, isn't it? We've got to remember our sets. And we've got to remember, like, it's interesting. Like, listen, a few months ago, I went to a petrol station and I saw another comedian with her boyfriend. I knew she was a comedian because she had her whole set on her hand. And I got kind of excited, but I got kind of nosy because I wanted to know what was on her hand. So I creeped up and she's with her boyfriend, you know what I mean? So I creeped up and I looked down at the side. Guess what her set said? It said, I love Kit Kats. And then underneath that, it said healthy. I said, I love Kit Kats, healthy. What a strange set. I tapped her on the shoulder, put my hand up because, are you a comedian? She said, yes. She was startled. I'm a comedian. I'm standing there with my hand up. She's putting her hand in my face. I'm a comedian. Her boyfriend saw there was a connection, came over, grabbed her by her waist and pulled her away. I wasn't trying to chat her up or anything. And she's like, I'm a comedian. Really fucking weird. I saw her again a week later, but on the news. It wasn't I love Kit Kats healthy. It was I've been kidnapped, help me. I could have helped her. If her handwriting was better, you know what I mean? Listen, you guys have been adorable. My name's Eugene D'Souza. Enjoy the rest of the night.
All right, guys. I'm Annie. I'm from Birmingham. I love Birmingham so much. It's just when I come back to London, my voice changes and suddenly, like, gentrification is a serious issue. I'm just really glad it's not my problem. But I am trying to be an empath, and whilst I'm focusing on being an empath, I can hear the, like, Sex and the City theme tune play. And it's like, da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da. I'm definitely part of the problem. Da, da 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 da. I've seen Lil Connor in the supermarket. Da 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 da. He's just had a baby. Da 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 da. They were buying prawns. Da da da. Him, not the baby. It would be weird for a baby to buy prawns. But it would also be so hackney. Like, can you imagine the mums just being like, yeah, so Lucia, okay, yeah, this is crazy, but Lucia is picking our produce for our meals. She's a toddler and she can't talk, but she's really creative with spices. And Mob Kitchen have started doing baby-led recipes. But the joke's on me because I would be obsessed with that if that was a thing. Like, I'd be obsessed. And thinking of that, it made me also think of, like, I need more hobbies. Like, I only have 2 passions in life. One of them is reading horoscopes because I'm really, really predictable. And the second one is rim jobs because I'm a modern woman. Malala could never. You know, could you imagine Greta Thunberg doing this with her Saturday, like, you're a Sagittarius, I can taste it. And then this won't work long term because I'm a Pisces. And I'm talking into your bumhole. What am I doing with my life? Yeah, I need more hobbies. And I'm also trying to, like, change my outlook of how I view things. For example, I got a haircut recently. I got bangs, but I slicked them back because I'm insecure. And during the haircut, I was genuinely thinking, like, oh my God, this is iconic. I love this for you. This is a moment. And I had to check in with myself of, like, no, bitch, you're just a narcissist. This is just a haircut. And it's that moment of wanting to be your biggest cheerleader, but then thinking that you're the main character of every moment. But the secret to my story, I'm boring, so boring, super, super boring. And and it just, I don't know, it humbles you in that way of then being like, okay, I think the only time it's appropriate to be a narcissist is when you do it ironically for comedy. And yeah, it's just like hit me of that idea of, like, trying to improve my habits and trying to improve my mental, like, viewpoint on myself. I'm hoping it improves my dating life because it's shit, guys, to be honest with you. I was seeing this guy recently and he wanted me to peg him. And immediately I was like, I'm honoured. I am honestly honoured. And then secondly, I messed up because I brought the strap on from wish.com. Okay? So obviously within 5 minutes, it broke. And I have never seen a man more vulnerable in my life, like when he was just looking at me being like, oh, how much of it is inside me? And I didn't say a thing, like my mind was racing. I was just like, this is content, comedy content. And as I was, like, thinking all of this, because I'm a selfish cow, he'd gotten up and gone to the bathroom. But as he'd walked like this, like grabbing his asshole, going like that. And it hit me because I'd never witnessed that before, because I'm straight, I've only dated men, and it hit me because I'm usually the one with, like, the snotty blobs of jizz down my thigh that I'm then trying to, like, hide and be all, like, cute and like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna nip to the bathroom, tidy myself. And the difference of witnessing that, refreshing, so refreshing, ladies. Like, honestly, if you do that, just do it for the view. No one tells you about the view of pegging. It also helped me fulfill my goal, though, guys, because I wanted to be an empath, and I empathised with an arsehole. Thank you. I've been Annie. You've been great. Keep it going for Annie! Keep it going till he gets it!
Laser beams, watch out for the laser beams, guys. Sorry for that kind of random bout of energy. I think I kind of looked at a stray can of Red Bull. That really kind of set me off there. My name's Moss. Do a lot of comedy for kind of small woodland creatures. You know? Do a lot of gigs for kind of mice and shrews. I don't really do many gigs for chinchillas, you know? Nocturnal animals. Gigs don't start till about, 2 a.m. Finish at 5 a.m. There's no trains at 5 a.m, so next thing you know, just kind of staying at a chinchilla's house. sleeping on a bed of hay. You know, keeps trying to massage you. This little kind of chinchilla hands. I don't want that chinchilla! Leave me alone. At least the rent's cheap. The rent is quite cheap. In a cage, at least, in a cage. Now, all the kind of woodland gigs have been banned outside. Now, there's something quite beautiful, right, about a peregrine falcon majestically dive bombing your crowd of kind of critters. But it does kind of kill the vibe. It's kind of killed. I'm just trying to deliver a joke and then... It's bloodshed. We call that in the business an Angry Birds. It's not great. Do you guys want to hear a little kind of mouse joke? Little mouse joke? Little woodland joke? Fantastic. Squeakity squeak. Squeakity squeakity. Squeak squeak. Here's the punchline. A squeak squeak. That's quite a kind of highly political joke, that, about all the kind of hierarchy of kind of intersocial workings of the mouse population. Do you want to hear another kind of mouse joke? Yeah, mouse joke. Squeakity squeak. It's a bit cheesy, that one, but the mice love it. Just note that. The bump. Yes. I'm cool. I have kind of special talents. Do you want to see one of my special talents? I'm very good at very good impressions. Do a very good impression of myself. Do you want to hear it? Hello everyone, my name's Moss. Does need a bit of work, that. It's a bit shit, a bit terrible. It's one of my special talents as well is karaoke. Yeah, I do a lot of kind of karaoke around the karaoke scene. My go-to song is the Hokey Cokey, but I only sing the lyrics right leg. So I've set that up, so just going to play it out now. Play the music! Right leg. Sir, if you wouldn't mind reading my speech. If you wouldn't mind reading the speech, sir. If you wouldn't mind reading the speech, sir, you come up and join me on stage, sir. Just read that for me. It's not incriminating, don't worry.
Well, wasn't that a delightful performance? So good, in fact, I may have weed myself just a little bit. Anyway, enough about me. I would like to present Moss with the Nobel Peace Prize in Comedy for such profound rendition of the Hokey Cokey. Open parentheses, present trophy I will give you. Close parentheses. That was so good, I wish I could kiss you, open parentheses, just look at me awkwardly. Close parentheses. Anyway, I best be off. Goodbye, everyone!
Hello guys, hello. So, I bought this shirt recently, actually. It's an oversized style fit. Do you like it? It's good, I've got one. Oh, good, it's good. But on me, it just fits. Yeah, that was a real wake-up call, actually. It's kind of the reason why I got into stand-up. I wanted girls to know that I'm funny, and not just a cracking set of tits. So I bought a new washing machine as well, and has anyone ever dared to use those settings with the weird symbols that no one ever uses? Right? Yeah, this is what happens. I bought this shirt recently. It's an oversized style fit. So how about that cost of living crisis, eh? Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? So I got into wrestling recently. I fucking went there, guys. I fucking went there. Do you like the socks? Yeah. Anything else you like? No? Okay, just the socks. So I told my wife, right, I'm going to get into wrestling. And I said I wanted to be called the Colombian Comet, right? And she said, no, you look ridiculous. You look like Enrique in glazed donuts. Who are you battling? Diabetes? So I said, screw you. I don't care what you say. I'm not going to be fat shamed by you. I'm going to the gym. Side note, she fucking hates that joke. So I'm the alpha in any room. Alright? I hit puberty before all of my friends. By 13, I was already a B cup. And the reason why you guys aren't laughing as much is because I just recently lost 19 kilos, so now my jokes are 19% less funny. I'm actually quite the catch, you know. Yeah, ladies, I'm actually quite the catch. If eating pussy was an Olympic sport, I would turn the telly off, as that would be vulgar. Yeah. Have you ever wondered why the Great Wall of China is in China? By the way, China's not named after the wall, by the way, but yeah, it's too big to carry to the British History Museum. Have you ever wondered why Stonehenge isn't in a museum? 'Cause it's shit. They say that white wine pairs well with fish, so I forced a bottle of Lambrini down the tuna and fucked it. I'm now banned from the London Aquarium. Some men say they can have sex 5 times a day. I definitely couldn't. I'm not that good at fishing. I used to work in an American prison for some reason. Jeffrey Epstein was there. He was having a really tough time. So one night just before bed, I went up to his cell and said, just hang in there. And he did. If I could meet anyone dead or alive, I would meet Prince Andrew. Dead. So my wife is Turkish, actually, and she has a bit of an accent, right? So she sometimes confuses words, or she can't say the letters TH together, like the, them. She replaces it with a D. Them. And sometimes you get a bit confused. So like a couple of days ago, she came up to me and said, I'm sick of you criticizing my English. I want a divorce. And I said, babe, I have no idea what a divorce is. All right, and that's the end of my set, but I do want to sort of mellow down the mood. I don't know if you guys have seen the news recently, but Turkey has just gone with a massive earthquake and has killed many, many thousands of people. So I don't care about the votes, and all I just want to know is that at least a couple of people has just donated whatever they can for the cause, and for me, I don't care. I would win the night, in my opinion. All right. So sorry to mellow down the mood, but thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Thank you very much. Just to get this out of the way early on, yes, I am a Northerner, but I am not one of those London Northerners. And you know what I mean? We've all met the London Northerner. Very keen to tell you just how wonderful the North is. And how much friendlier everybody in the North is. And how much more value for money things are in the North. And just how generally better the North is, just not quite enough to want to live there. Before we start, just a moment's thought, please, for Pope Benedict. Passed away a few weeks ago. Yet another tragic member of the 95 Club. Because these famous people keep weirdly dying at the age of 95, don't they? Nelson Mandela, June Brown, a.k.a. Doc Cotton from EastEnders, Norman Wisdom. It's weird. Politics has been weird for the past year and a bit, hasn't it? We had 3 prime ministers last year. 3. Started off with Boris Johnson, who had to quit when he turned out to be a bit of a liar. First thing he did afterwards was whisk Carrie off for a belated honeymoon. They went to Slovenia because Boris Johnson said it's the one place that's got the word love within its name. Boris Johnson should have gone to Scunthorpe. And then I think I got about 4 gigs out of what I promised you was some solid gold Liz Truss material before she overtook George Canning to be our shortest ever serving Prime Minister. And at least he had the good grace to die. Liz Truss is now the political equivalent of Paul McGann's Doctor Who. In 25 years' time, Prime Minister fans will attend conventions at the Excel Centre, debating whether Liz Truss can truly be considered canon or not. This year started off with a load of headlines about concern of people coming in from China, potentially bringing in a new and unknown strain of the coronavirus, and the government flip-flopping about what it's going to do about it. It's beginning to look a lot like 2020. I'm all right, I'm prepared this time. I've gone back to stockpiling the old penne from Lidl. I was in there the weekend, actually. I took with me a voucher which entitled me to £5 off when you spend £25 at Lidl. I don't know if anybody here has ever tried to spend £25 at Lidl. It is like Brewster's Millions. It's difficult even spending it on that weird non-food aisle. You know, that mental non-food aisle that goes down the centre of Lidl? The sort of, excuse me, do you sell insect repellent? Why, yes, sir, it's in aisle 4, between the Family Fortunes interactive DVDs and the top hats. Just end up clutching a 2-litre jar of sauerkraut. Going, are we really going to use this? Well, we filled 2 trolleys and we're still only on £6.38, so chuck it in. What else is going on? Everyone's on strike at the moment, aren't they? I think you probably noticed this. Everybody's on strike. The teachers, the nurses, the postmen, the heritage professions, as I call them, the boring old jobs. But what happens when the people with the modern, exciting jobs go on strike? The YouTubers, the influencers, the mummy bloggers. Oh, the boomers have got their stories of the 1979 winter of discontent, when the streets were piled high with litter and you couldn't bury the dead. But we'll have tales of when the YouTubers went on strike and the streets were piled high with boxes because there was no one around to unbox them. The influencers downed tools and we were all walking round blindly, unaware of who was feeling #blessed that day. And there were lakes of undrunk Prosecco, because the mummy bloggers weren't around to tell us it was 5 o'clock somewhere. Am I right, ladies? Finally, at least we got to the end of 2022 without Putin dropping the nuclear bomb on us. I don't want to die in a nuclear war. I've still got things to achieve. I don't ask for much in life. Just a 2-page interview in the Times, headlined "Laugh Begins at 40, How Funny Man Matt Made It Big in Middle Age." I think we've got to get out of London, haven't we, before Putin starts chucking his bombs around. Get out of London. I'm thinking of moving back to my hometown. I grew up in Crewe in the 1980s. If you wonder what Crewe was like in the 1980s, shit. Just go to Crewe now. It's not going to get bombed by Putin, is it? He doesn't know it's there. But that should be the new slogan of the Crewe Tourist Board. Crewe, Vladimir Putin doesn't even know we exist. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Bring us to the stage, Osman! Keep it going, Osman! Keep it going.
How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Woo! Give me me a cheer if you're in a relationship. All right, give me a cheer if you're single. All right, give me a cheer if you have clinical depression. All right, you have no idea how happy I am to hear that. I was recently put on SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So if you don't know what that means, congrats on being happy. So yeah, apparently it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and you guys are about to be very aware of my mental health. I had a good. You guys have a good Christmas? Give me a cheer. Yeah, I had a pretty good Christmas. This is my first Christmas here. I had Christmas carolers come to my house. You guys ever had Christmas carolers come to your house? I had no idea what this was. I just heard singing outside, looked out the window, a bunch of white kids all dressed the same. I thought it was maybe like a gang initiation of some kind. It's just Christians. I opened the door, and then they immediately started asking for donations. So I gave them the Quran. So hopefully that goes well. Yeah, I'm Muslim, but technically Muslim in the same way McDonald's is technically food. You know what I mean? I do all the holidays, but none of the morals. Like I do certain things differently to you guys. Like I eat a certain type of food. You guys can kind of eat anything. I fast once a month every year. You guys don't really do that. I'm going to heaven. You guys, I don't know if that's happening for you. But there are certain things that you can do that I can't do. Like having a portable charger. I can't really do that. It doesn't look good when there's a red wire sticking out of my jacket connected to a handheld device. My phone died in West London, and I was like, oh, I guess I live here now. These are the rules. Oh man, I'm 19. Yeah, so I was surprised too to figure that out. I woke up on the day and I was like, I feel like I've been going longer at this than I have. I was actually created in a lab. Scientists want to make the world's first 30-year-old teenager, so they made me. I have 2 kids and a mortgage, and it's going great. I'm at uni now. I do management with marketing, so I don't give a fuck either. I just thought maybe you'd like to know that. I do certain things at uni I can't really do, like Netflix and chill. Can't really do that. The best I can do is maybe like 1, 2, 3 movies and boobies. That's the closest I can get to that. Anyone in therapy, by the way, give me a cheer if you're in therapy. Holy shit, maybe you should be. Therapy is good. Therapy is like a weekly talk show, and I'm the only guest. It's really good. It's like Jimmy Fallon without laughing. Like my therapist says something, goes, if you ever think of harming yourself or killing yourself, you should do what I do and read a book or watch a TV show, right? Which sounds like really dumb advice, but I can't tell you how many times I've been on the edge of a bridge like, I should finish Game of Thrones. Let me just step back. Yeah. I recently came back from Pakistan. That's where I'm from. Brought my cats with me. That was really exciting. I flew with a little thing of catnip. I mean, it's hard for me to get through immigration anyway. I thought maybe it'd make it a little bit harder for them. I wore it just to make it easy for them. I wore a neon sign that said 42911. So hopefully that goes. No. I got caught, obviously. They opened my bags once I got here, and they were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's catnip." And they were like, "Did you try to bring cannabis into England?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Did you try to bring cannabis into London?" And I was like, "Why would I do that when it's cheaper to buy here than outside?" And he was like, "How would you know that?" And I was like, "Oh shit, how do I?" But I eventually got my cats. In Heathrow, when you fly with your pets, you got to go to a different part of the airport. And I got there, I waited there for 4 hours. 4 hours later, a lady brings one of my cats out, and she's like, "All right, here's your cat." And I was like, "There's another one." And she's like, "Is there?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure there is." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Well, I put 2 in, so I'd love to get 2 back." So she, just as we were talking, another lady came around the corner, and she was like, "Oh, we have your cat here, but she's a little bit scared. Do you have any catnip on you that you could use to calm her down? If not, you can buy some from us." And I was like, "You motherfucker." No, I didn't say that. What she doesn't know is that I brought the catnip, and my cat brought the real weed, so we're good. Yeah. I was recently in a pub, and this guy leans over, and he goes, "Uber?" I go, "What?" And he goes, "Are you my Uber driver?" I was like, "I don't know if you know what an Uber is, but they're usually not standing up and inside, so..." I never got a call from my Uber like, "I'm standing right next to you. If you want to just hold my hand, we can go." You guys have been great. Thank you very much.
Hello, yes, yeah, my name's Carwyn, a beautiful Welsh name for a beautiful Welsh pair of legs. And I'm from Carmarthen, which is the oldest town in Wales. Oh, it's brilliant, we just had the grand opening of our blockbuster video. Nah, people are quick to turn their noses up at Wales's oldest town, but I was there for Christmas, and let me tell you, the pick and mix that you can get at Woolworths now. Absolutely sublime. Now, I'm actually from a really small village outside of the town, deep in the countryside. I'm from a village which is so secluded that all it takes to be seen as a man of the world is if you drink lilt. As a child, you'd go over to your mate's house, and if they had a bottle of lilt on the counter, you'd be like, "Wowee! You guys been on holiday recently? Gracias, Mrs. Thomas. Yes, I'll take a glass, but let me put on some sun cream first." Lots of people learnt new skills during the lockdowns, but it's easy to spot the ones that went too far learning something new. I saw a van in Carmarthen a few weeks back for Bob's Plumbing and Audio Editing. I mean, calm down, Bob. There's a jobs crisis at the moment, and the reason's probably because Bob's taking all of the work. I tried looking up to see if I could find Bob on Trustpilot, because I could imagine that all of the reviews would just be something like, "Well, Bob was only meant to replace the U-bend under the sink, but ended up offering to DJ at my brother's wedding, and tried to sell me a CD of his experimental new electro tunes. 2 stars for the plumbing, 5 stars for track 17. It was actually a bit of a banger." I bet Bob gets such a kick when he has a client phone up that needs 2 of his services, you know? Both of them. Like when somebody phones up like, "Hi, is this Bob's Plumbing and Audio Editing? Oh, thank God, I've just had a burst pipe in my son's music studio." There's no chance he'll get his playlist ready for the school prom now. Fire up the Bobmobile. Nah, so I grew up in the countryside and I loved it. And I love it when nicknames stick. Not because they make much sense, but just because they're fun to say. Like, there was a girl in my year, her dad was a vicar and her mum worked in a gym. And to this day, we still call her Jehovah's Fitness. Yeah, Bob's like the human equivalent of those shower gels that they make for men who suffer with toxic masculinity. You know the ones I'm on about, right? Yeah. 5-in-1 shower gel. For the man that just wants one casserole that does the lot. Body, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, and can unblock a sink. I play rugby, right, because I am a massive stereotype. And one of my teammates had a bottle of 9-in-1 shower gel. I mean, this stuff was so full of testosterone, I sniffed the bottle and it made my nan pregnant. One of the butchest things about it was, it didn't even say on the bottle what those 9 things were. All I know is after he'd finished using it in the shower, the groundskeeper borrowed it to top up the oil in his lawnmower. One of the few things on the bottle that you could make out was just the phrase 100%. 100% what? I have no idea. That 100% could have referred to anything, like 100% likely to kill anyone under 9 stone. There's a 100% chance you will grow a set of abs on your forehead. Made from 100% pure pork scratching. Now, last month wasn't all that good for me. And have you ever had a really shit month? And you get to the end of it and you think, thank God that's behind me. But then your phone, without prompting, decides to make you a montage of photos from your horrendous month. Now you're given 2 minutes of photos, caked in anxiety, all set to the happiest, bounciest music you've ever heard in your life. It gently fades from the photo of that bike lock that used to be attached to your bike into the screenshot of your positive COVID test, and then fades beautifully into a photo of that ultrasound confirming that your nan is indeed pregnant with a shower gel. No, like I said, I grew up in the countryside, and I grew up in the 90s, and back then, everything was so dangerous. Who here remembers the game British Bulldogs? I mean, it's incredible that many of us survived. For anyone who isn't familiar with British Bulldogs, I reckon the way to sum it up is, you heard of World War I? Well, that was safer than a round of British Bulldogs. Especially in the deep countryside, in a school where even the geekiest girl in your year drinks raw unpasteurized milk. And hit 6'2" while there were still stabilizers on her bike. Believe me, when she hit you in British Bulldogs, she hit you hard. It kind of gave you the feeling that she didn't like being called Jehovah's Fitness. I know, you've been great. Thanks very much, Nostar.
Yeah, now that we've updated the way we communicate, we need to update some of our expressions. Like potato, potato doesn't work over text. If somebody texts me potato, potato, I just think, yeah, that sounds like a delicious recipe. I think I probably got into comedy for the same reason I got into rugby. Like, if I turn on the TV and see a fat white guy doing really well at something, I'll just think, yep, I'll take a crack at that. I have noticed something over here that people do where they meet somebody who's a bit weird or socially awkward. They'll quickly and with no qualification just diagnose them with autism. I just don't really want that to go any further. Like, I'd hate for people to meet me and be like, yep, that guy has diabetes. They say you gain a few pounds when you quit smoking. This is what happens when you quit cocaine. I've actually done enough cocaine I can identify the make of a car by the smell of a key. I went home recently to visit my mum. It was nice. We haven't always been very close, but we actually got drunk together. It was good because it was the first time we did it since just before I was born. So I was reading the other day the reason ancient Greek statues have small penises is because in ancient Greece the epitome of male beauty was a small penis man. And I never felt closer to Adonis. I just think there's a lot of pressure from men around sex, not being very good at it. But I, for one, I don't like giving oral. Because I'm quite tall, I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to hang your feet off the end of the bed like this. Yeah, I think it comes down to education. Like, I remember learning about masturbating in school. Teacher saying, a boy will stroke his penis until he ejaculates, which I don't think really captures the violent nature of it. Like, if somebody said, this is my new puppy, would you like to stroke it? And you started tying a belt around your neck. Do you think nowadays when a teenage boy's parents get divorced, he secretly gets a bit excited because of all the step family porn he's been watching? I'm not saying he'll be excited day one, but when he meets his new stepmother, he'll be thinking, she'll get stuck in something. Twix asked earlier if people have kids here. I think there's two acceptable answers for that. There's yes and there's no. But you will hear quite regularly the third one, which is not that I know of. Which really is somebody saying, no, I don't have kids, but I have had sex. I need you to know that I have had sex. But when people say that to me, all I really hear is you're the type of person that if a lady felt pregnant, she'd be thinking, I'll just go this alone. I was passing a church the other day, and on the front of it said, the Church of Jesus Christ the Scientist. And I mean, this confused me because Jesus was famously a carpenter. So I had to Google it. These people are apparently, they're Christian scientists, they're called. They believe that if you're sick, don't take any medicine, just Jesus will come and cure you. But I found this a bit strange because I work in construction, and when I needed vaccine advice, I did not go to the carpenters. I went to a retired mixed martial artist on a podcast like everybody else. Another thing I read, I've noticed over here that a lot of people like Churchill a lot because of all his wartime speeches. And but I was reading that he would start drinking whiskey at about 11 in the morning, drink all day, and then give his broadcasts by night. And if I start drinking whiskey with breakfast, my speeches will be pretty much the same. Like, yeah, I'll fucking fight you. If you want to fight in a beach, I'll fight you on a fucking beach. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
Thank you. Oh, deserters already. That's good. I'm Isaac. I just got back into the country. I was recently living in America. A little place called New York City. You might have heard of it. You definitely have. There's a lot of money there. You'd like it, Michael. There's buildings. Yeah. A lot of structural integrity. Much more than these jokes are going to have. So that's good. I moved there because of my girlfriend. She stayed here. She just wanted me to leave the country. But it's all right. You know, I got to come back because that's over now. It actually ended over a very silly misunderstanding. You guys like this? You guys know the rapper and singer Macklemore? Yeah? Like often mispronounced Macklemore. But it's actually Macklemore, right? And I was saying this. I was saying it's not Macklemore. It's Macklemore. Not Macklemore. Macklemore. And she goes, Isaac, I said I don't love you anymore. So, you know, it's just a silly misunderstanding, you know? We were actually in a polyamorous relationship, which I found out when I checked her phone. I just, for those of you who don't know, right, like polyamory, it's what it means. It's like the opposite of monogamy, right? Like it means you're not just like loving and sharing with one person. Like you also fuck my best friend. That's how that one works. But like I say, I got to move to America, which was it's fantastic. The land of the free and the home of Taco Bell. There's no GBK there, sorry. But it's great. My favorite thing about America is the adverts for medicine. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these things, but they've got these great adverts for like Octavex, right, which is helps with IBS, the stomach problems, and it's like this woman being like, I had terrible stomach problems, and I couldn't go a single day without feeling like I needed to shit myself. But then I took Octavex, and I could live my life anew. And it says side effects may include vomiting, diarrhea, death of a firstborn son. That's but this was genuinely true, right? My favorite thing was that at the end of it would have all these warnings, do not take Octavex if you're a functioning human being. But my favorite would say, genuinely true, it said, do not take Octavex if you have had a life-threatening allergic reaction to it in the past. Which I just love, because it's I think it was just in the pharmacy well, last time I took this, I nearly died. But I didn't. And my stomach is acting up, so but despite that, right, despite shit like that, Americans patronize British people a lot. I don't know if anyone's ever really experienced this, but I would always get patronized by Americans being oh, British names for things are so funny. You have such funny names for things. You call it Worcestershire sauce and jam tarts. And the thing is, right, this is just a bit of advice to you guys. If an American ever says that to you, don't fucking take that shit. Don't, because if an American says that to me, I'm not taking that from you. Your name is Scooter. I'm not. It's not, But it's true. But and they're obsessed with these differences in words, and it's true. We got different words for things. Like we say trousers and they say pants, and we say sorry and they say the war in Iraq was justified. It's big fan of the Iraq War. Is that the? No. Okay. No, so but I'm back, and it's a new year, New Year's resolutions. This year I want to achieve my lifelong goal of getting famous. That's why I'm here. So please vote for me. Because my goal in life is to become famous enough to get cancelled. And don't worry, I'm not a hashtag right-wing comedian. I'm not going to go on a rant about Meghan Markle. You can unclench. But it's just what I mean is it's not so much it's the being famous enough to get cancelled, right? Because that's the marker of success in comedy. In music, the marker of success is getting sued by the family of Marvin Gaye, in comedy it's okay because it's very lucrative getting cancelled. Oh my god, you get a Netflix special called Triggered or something like that. You get a book deal. Oh my god, it's so. but like, and people say to me, like, I've had friends, I tell them I do stand-up comedy, they're like, oh God, today's climate, you're not worried about getting cancelled? I'm like, nobody knows who I am. How would that even work, you know? And also, like my material's not offensive, you know, like, unless your name is Scooter and you support the Iraq War. But those guys aren't going to cancel me on Twitter because that demographic can't read. But you get so many, like, especially in New York, right? I would always find so many, like, amateur comedians who were terrified of getting cancelled, right? Like, I remember this one guy I can't say, it was at an open mic with like no one there, right? And he was like, I can't say what I want to say about the gay pride parade because I'll get cancelled. And I looked around the room and I was like, where do you think you are? There's like 3 people here. Like, we barely have enough people for like a Nickelback tribute act. Like, I think you're gonna be fine. And all right, well, on that note, I'm gonna leave you. Thank you very much, guys. This has been great.